Hello, Moogly here once again. Another Audiotool tutorial, this time on the Machinist. Many of the Audiotool devices are patterned after real-world instruments. To be honest, I don't know if the Machinist is. There's a lot of different like playback, sample playback things. It's kind of part Akai MPC, part. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of sampling drum machines out there, to be honest. So it's a really, really powerful device. We're gonna do first of all start off with the basic connections and check this thing out a little bit first. All right. The Machinist has 16 buttons, typical drum machine programming kind of 16 button grid across here. Mute switch for each sample. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different sample slots that you can put in there. And then as you click each one, the edit light comes on. So that's not like a separate button, to do anything. And then exclusive would be things that will not sound at the same time. So the classic example would be like open and closed hi-hats. You would put that on for both of those sounds. But the real power in this lies down underneath. So when you click on a button for a rhythm to play, now you can click and drag straight up and down, and it'll increase the modulation for that particular hit. All right. Now, what is the modulation? All of these knobs down at the bottom are potentially sources of modulation, or I should say results of modulation. So simple one, level. By default, that one is all the way up. So the brighter this light up here, the louder the overall level is going to be for that sound down here. So if we want it to be like really quiet, then we could do something like this and kind of like, crescendo a sound and make it louder, and so on. So there's a lot of other things that we can do, however, right? We can, instead of that, we can change the filter, for example. So we can change either the cutoff or the resonance or both. And we do this first of all by turning on the filter. We have to turn on the filter first. Okay, so this works the same way with all of these things. You can change the start point or the end point depending on the modulation that you've got selected here. The pan, and you can do, of course, all of these simultaneously, and inversely too by turning it to the negative. So if you don't know what that is, think about this: like when level is up, okay, and the light gets brighter, the level goes up. Now, if I turn that to the negative, then it's the opposite effect. So as the light gets brighter, the level goes down. Okay, so you could have a situation where you have the filter cutoff actually get darker as something also gets louder, which would be kind of a weird effect maybe. So it'd be kind of interesting. Um, anyways, so the key here, of course, is that you have no sounds. There are no built-in sounds in the Machinist. You have to load samples. Now you could do loops too, but one-shot samples are where this thing really shines. So let's hook up the main output here, master output. Again, I don't know why they don't just turn that thing up all the way. So it's kind of strange. So one-shot samples. Why don't we get one-shot samples? You can make your own, of course, but there's a ton of them in Audiotool right here. If we go to the sample tab, and then we change this. We've got either all, and then we have the two types of sample. One of them is loops. One of them is one-shot samples. Okay. I tell my students only use one-shot samples in this. Now they don't 100% know loops all that well in the first place. So to have them work with a loop and stuff, and do it correctly, while playing it back from within a device that could potentially change the speed of it, change the start and stop of it, with them just accidentally clicking things, which, to be honest, happens a lot. Is to me, I don't know. It's just a recipe for disaster, let's say. So I just say, hey, load all one-shot samples, and you can see the little arrow. Now, the big difference, by the way, in loops and one-shots is this. You can search by BPM, and if somebody's made the sample correctly, most of these actual stock, Audiotool waves. Yeah, these are pretty good. These samples are good. So, drum, loops and such. There's a ton of them. It's all based on BPM. So if we change our BPM and load up samples from that area, 88. It's an 88 Magnum. So then we can like change this 88 bow. There we go. There's some stuff, and then random things. So these we can of course drag into the workspace wherever and use them as a standalone item. But again, we're interested in one-shot samples. And of course, as soon as we click that, the BPM indicator shuts off because there is no BPM, and the phone is ringing.
Call from anonymous.
Anonymous something. Thanks for interrupting my video. I don't care. I'm gonna leave it. Stop.
Call from
Stop. Just stop.
Call from anonymous.
Hooray. Okay. So interesting. Okay, so MJ, Marcel Jefferson House Collection. I guess. Sort of cool. Ooh, it's loud. Actually, everything's kind of loud. My headphones are really, really high. All right. Okay, I kind of personally, I like congas and bongos. So I'm going to take a pair of congas and I'm going to troll them down here on the bottom. So then you see what I'm doing here. I'm just dragging them in, right? So, and then I'm going to use one bongo above that. One bongo because, well, you'll see. Anyways, how about a shaker? Yeah, shakers are cool. All right. Now, here's the thing. I could double click on this. And I am click, but it's not playing. It's mysterious. As soon as we hit play once, we kind of enable those samples. So now when I double click, it actually makes sound. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know if it's a bug. I hate it though. No, I mean, whatever. It's just a weird little thing. Okay, square wave at 303. Oh, that's interesting. So you can actually use the Machinist as a TB303, which is weird because there's a baseline machine built into Audiotool. Anyways, never mind. Cool. Ooh, like that more. All right. So kick drum. I need a good long clap. So we can search, of course, search for clap. I want to search for like a clap that's just like a real thick. It's okay. Yeah. Ugh. Ooh, stereo. Like it. All right. But I want it a little bit quicker. I know it's not going to be that responsive. Like if we just do this. No, stop. Quit it. Stop. There we go. Okay. Then we change the start point. See, that's interesting. That's not like I like. Now, of course, if this were me, and it is, so I'm going to do some parallel processing. All right. Now, the first thing I like to do is you're at the very least you're going to want to process your kick drum and your snare drum or your claps both separately. Okay. Personally, I like to start the Machinist out on channel 5, the basic thing. All right, and then this is just my ritual kick, of course, snare or claps or whatever. You could even, if you wanted, you could use like splitters to save channels if you really had to. Take all of your bongos or congas, all of these. Why not? Let's try it. See what happens. I've actually never really done this before, but never done this before. It's very interesting. So we want all of our bongo, conga sounds. We can put those all in number 4. I'm going to put hi-hats and such in number 3. And hi-hats I don't have yet, but I need them. So let's find them. Hat. I like to search for high because who knows how somebody spelled it. I just don't know. That is weird. That's not good. Okay. Nah. Oh, see, I don't like that. It's like that 808 super. I mean, it's got its place. Don't get me wrong. Well, clearly, that's a hi hat. Well done. Huh? Huh? No. Maybe? No. No. Okay, I like that. Kind of like real crisp. Okay. What's this? Uh, there's a lot of hi hats. Hmm. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted that. Okay. So our sounds are kind of set up here. Of course, we have patterns. So we get here pattern track that we can make. Right, let's do that. Now we have a pattern track. Let's say 4 measures of that guy. That is pattern A1. All right. What I like to do is take my loop chunk over here. Okay, so of course up here with our pattern selection, we can use right click, we can copy, and then we can paste it into pattern 2. Why would we want to do such a thing? It's terrible. We would want to do such a thing because we would want to add to this rhythm, right? We don't want to just keep it static or change it. We want to add to it. So if we do something as simple, now what if we did this? A little ghost note. Oh. that's right. I don't have these guys separately wired yet. Let me go ahead and do that. These are my hi-hats. This is, again, it's not really necessary. If your computer's like halfway decent, you should be able to run a lot of different modules. Okay. Of course, we can apply a little EQ, like we should, because EQ is good for you. It's very, very loud. A little high end. Give it just a little crispness. Yeah, a little reverb. Just a little.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a little delay might mess things up. Okay. So now, what's the cool thing about the modulation and stuff? We haven't really used it much. So let's try this with a bongo. Yes, let's do that. Bongo. Yeah, so we're going to do this again. We're going to copy. We're going to paste. All right. Add that rhythm. And for now, temporarily, I'm going to mute these things. And then I'm going to put another 4 measure chunk. Let's make it 8. Let's go nuts. We're going nuts. We're doing the 8s. Here we are with the 8s. What are we going to do? Like this. Bunk, bunk, bunk. Okay. So this is our rhythm. Bump, 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 bump. What we're going to do is vary this, not by level. No, that would be nuts. I don't want to do that. We're going to vary it by pitch. So you see what I need to do? I need to find, first of all, this is how much it's going to vary by. So you're going to also have to adjust the actual pitch of that sample. And right now it doesn't sound really like a good bongo. It sounds really fake. But that's okay. Maybe that's kind of what we're going for. It's pretty sensitive in places here, so this takes me a second. No, it's too much. Okay. Well, I mean, whatever for now. All right. Of course, if you really wanted to be sure, like 45.5%, okay, well, let's put this around there. You can actually do them all like that. That'll be okay. And that's all right. So now we have this progression, obviously, of rhythms, right? Boom. Number 2. Feel some shuffle in the future for this song. It's a little loud, so we can turn out the overall loud. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Okay, but for now, I'm I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to end this tutorial. It's a little bit rambly, but thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something about Audiotool and about the Machinist. Thanks much.